Hallelujah.
Koryashala.
Ashar.
Pasak.
Ashar.
Pasak. Ashar. Pasak. Bashim. Mashiach. Yahushua. Kahala. Yahweh. Kahala. Yahweh. Kahala. Yahweh. Hallelujah. Let's get that Lord's Prayer, King.
Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim,
Kodash,
Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malafufka, Taba'ah, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Yatananawa, Lakom, Kol, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Waf Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Wafya Nawa, Wala'ah, Tabayanawa, Mayasawan, Abo, Hawashaya Nawa, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Baka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahatapara, Wahalamyam, Aman.
Get that in English, Matthew chapter 6, verse 9. Matthew 6, verse 9. Let's get that in English one time.
6, verse 9. So this is Matthew chapter 6 and verse 9. After this manner, therefore, pray ye, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
Oh, Yahweh, now please allow us to be filled with your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. May the knowledge rain down from heaven like raindrops, oh Yahweh. Let us soak our souls and let us be nourished, and let our fruits of the Spirit grow like trees in the forest, oh Yahweh. By Shema Mashiach Yahushua. Amen.
Amen.
Come on, let's get into this lesson, y'all. So let's get into this lesson. The closing of the Passover. The closing of the Passover. All praises to the Most High, right? One more day, we through it, man. Come on, man. Give yourself a hand. Right, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. The Feast of Unleavened Bread. One more day, man. Let's get that Leviticus, huh? Let's get that Leviticus chapter 23 and start at verse 5. 7 days, y'all did it, man. Right?
Yeah.
One more day to go through, right? We got the sisters being very professional in that kitchen, being very holy and set apart in that kitchen, making sure we are lawful out here, man.
Right.
All praises to the Most High, man. Right? Bring that out, huh?
Done. This is Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month, at even, is the Lord's Passover.
Is what?
It is the Lord's Passover.
That's what we celebrated last week, but now what we're doing right now, bring it out.
And in the 15th day of the same month.
In the what?
In the 15th day of the same month.
Come on.
Is the Feast of Unleavened Bread.
Because the Passover is the carry on into the Feast of Unleavened Bread. The Passover is the first day, and the rest of the week is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. That's what we're in the midst of. Con. Let's get it.
7 days ye must eat unleavened bread. In the first day you shall have an holy convocation.
That's what we had the first day of Holy Convocation. Shout out to the brothers in HOI Atlanta that held it down over here. Right? We traveled to New York, but what happened? No matter where you was, there was a Holy Convocation. Con. Right?
Ye shall do no servile work therein.
Come on.
But ye shall offer an offering made by fire.
Offering made by what?
Fire.
Right, roasted that lamb. Come on, read on.
Unto the Lord.
Unto who?
Unto the Lord.
No, unto me.
Unto the Lord.
No, unto Elder Zabak.
Unto the Lord.
No, unto the Lord. Come on.
7 days. In the 7th day is an holy convocation.
And the seventh day, which we are upon right now, is a holy convocation, man. That's why we celebrating this holy convocation right now at sunset. Come on.
Ye shall do no servile work therein.
What?
No servile work therein.
Right? We know this is captivity, and that's why we covered by the blood of the Lamb, which is HOI, because certain people probably couldn't get off today.
Right.
Right? But may the Most High have mercy. But if you could get off, do get off, because it's a holy convocation, man.
It's a high Sabbath.
Right? Come.
Right.
It's a very high Sabbath. Read on.
Verse 9. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel.
And this is what we're doing, man. We're speaking unto the children of Israel. Khan? Right? So for the children of Israel, this is a holy convocation where we are gathering and celebrating the Lord, man. And we see all our forefathers doing it throughout the scriptures. And throughout the scriptures said this is a statute forever, man. Let's get that in Exodus chapter 12, verse 14. It's a statute forever. Forever, ever?
Forever.
Forever. 13. Read verse 14 for me, King.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 14. And this day shall be unto you for a memorial, and ye shall keep it a feast to the Lord throughout your generation. Throughout your generations, ye shall keep it a feast by an ordinance forever.
For how long?
Forever.
Forever, man. That's one forever, right? Go to verse 17. And it says it's a memorial. What does a memorial mean?
Remember.
A memory.
Yes.
So as long as we can remember we are the children of Israel, which we all coming into this knowledge, that means we're supposed to remember to keep these holy days. Khan? Right? Come on.
Verse 17. And ye shall observe the feast of unleavened bread. For in the selfsame day have I bought your armies out of the land of Egypt.
Brought your armies out of the land of Egypt, right? Us brothers are on the front line every day, going to camp and collecting the lost sheep. We are the armies of the Most High God. Ain't nothing new underneath the sun, right? But the army's just not the whole body. We doing this for everybody to come and congregate. If you're not part of the army, guess what? You can be part of the farmers, or part of the home builders, or part of the chefs. Because everybody in Yasha has their purpose, right? Right. So we're not only doing this just for the armies, but the armies did lead them out of Egypt. Khan. Read on.
Verse 17. Therefore shall ye observe this day in your generations by an ordinance forever.
For how long?
Forever.
So nice, he said it twice. Yes. Twice in the same chapter he said forever. And brothers will tell you not to celebrate it right now. Some brothers like, we not in the Holy Land, huh? Right?
Right, but they celebrate Easter though.
Then when you in the world, you be damn sure celebrating Easter.
Right. Martin Luther King.
And that goes into a demon goddess named Ishtar.
Right.
That's what the eggs represent. Represents the goddess of fertility.
Yes.
That's where the rabbits come from, because the rabbits are very fertile.
Right.
Rabbits are very fertile, and they have a lot of intercourse to bring out fertility. Right? You ever heard somebody say, "Oh, they've been humping like rabbits," right?
Right.
Because
Salaki, I had some rabbits. It was a trip. I had a rabbit too. It was a trip.
rabbits,
Oh yeah. You had to fall out.
fall straight out, right?
Yeah. I had a rabbit too.
Yeah. So that's what this whole bunny and eggs thing is representing fertility, man.
Come.
Right? They actually tell you to get your freak on today, man.
Right.
But today, according to the Most High, it's a holy convocation. Right? No sex on the holy convocation. Right.
Salaki, too, I was going to add on to the point. You know, they got the Playboy bunny.
Right.
Yeah.
Playboy bunny, right? That's what that's all about, right?
They don't think about that stuff.
They don't think about it, right?
Easter egg hunts, they did all
Easter
that.
egg hunts and bunny ears and
Every church was full.
every church
I
is
was
full.
going around the
On
community.
Easter Sunday, right?
Oh yeah.
Ridiculous hats and paganism in the back.
That's
right?
paganism pageant.
Paganism pageant,
That's all
right?
that is.
Well, what you supposed to be doing is celebrating the Passover. Let me get verse 23.
Right. Verse 23. For the Lord will pass through to smite the Egyptians.
Right? Come on.
And when he seeth the blood upon the lintel and on the two sides posts, the Lord will pass over the door and will not suffer the destroyers to come in unto your houses to smite you.
So he would not suffer the destroyer, right? Spiritually, spiritually, the destroyer in these times was Yahweh. Right? We can read that in the Wisdom of Solomon. He was the death angel. Right? That's in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 15. Right? Who got the Apocrypha on them? All right, so Caleb, read that for me. Wisdom of Solomon 18 and 15.
What was it, 18 and 15 up?
Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon. He was that destroyer. He was that destroyer that came down. That's why in the book of Joshua, he appeared before Joshua with the sword. Because he was already down from heaven at that time. But he went from the destroyer to the lamb. So the Passover was really all about Yahweh at the end of the day. Because he was that destroyer that brought us out of Egypt. And when he came in the flesh, he was the lamb that was sacrificed for us for the Passover. And when he returns, he returned them again as the destroyer again. That's the full circle. Right? So this Passover is really all about Yahweh and his deliverance and sacrifice that he made for us. Khan?
Thank you for doing it. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Ready, King?
Yeah, so bring that out, King.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon out of the Apocrypha, chapter 18 and 15.
Bring it out.
Thine almighty word leap down.
Almighty what?
Thine almighty word leap down.
Who is the word of the Almighty? Let's get that John 1 and 1, man. Who you got in Exodus, and you could give me that John 1 and 1.
You saying hold it?
Yeah, hold down in Exodus, because we're going to go back to that. The meaning of the destroyer right there is Yahweh Shai. He said, thy almighty word. Who's the word of the Most High? Huh?
The Most High, the Messiah, and Yahweh Shai. And I got a precept to link that he was on that throne with him too.
Yeah, come on.
That's what he's talking about on the throne.
This is the gospel according to St. John,
Right.
chapter 1, verse 1.
Bring that out.
In the beginning was the word.
Was the what?
Was the word.
And we ain't talking about word up neither. We talking about the word. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
And the word was with Yahweh.
And the word was with Yahweh, man. So his almighty word, that was with him at that time when we was in Egypt. Right? Read on.
And the word was Yahweh.
You see that? The word, and we break it down, it didn't say Yahweh right there because it's the lowercase g. So it says it was Allah. It was a power. It was a God. So the word was with Yahweh, the Almighty God, and the word was a God. You understand?
Yeah.
Because guess what? Even though Yahweh Shai isn't the Most High God, he's a God to these heathen. And when we in our right spirit, we're a God to these heathens.
Right.
That's why the Psalm says, ye are gods. So we got to tap in like Yahweh Shai tapped in. And this is why we also got to be grateful for Yahweh Shai, because he paved the way and showed us an example how to be gods amongst heathens instead of slaves.
Right.
You understand? We're supposed to be operating in God form. A lot of our people want to be on demon time, but we got to be operating in God form.
God.
Right? That's it on that. Right? So we understand that the Almighty Word was there next to him. Let me get your precept, Ken.
And it says he was gonna leap out the throne in the Wisdom of Solomon. This is on Revelation 22 and 3. And there shall be no more curses, but the throne of God and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him. So it's showing you that his throne was right there with Yahweh. So when it's saying he's gonna leap out it, he's sitting in that same throne, not the throne of the Most High, but he got a throne
next to him. That's in Psalms. We get Psalms 110, 110, because that says that he's on the right hand of the Most High.
Yeah.
Right? Let me get that.
Gotcha. This is Psalms, chapter 110 and verse 1.
Yeah.
The Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand.
Right? Right? Who's at the right hand? Yahweh Shai. Read on.
Until I make thy enemies thy footstool.
Until you make thy enemies thy footstool. Right? So Yahweh gives the orders. Christianity got it twisted like Yahweh Shai do what he want. No, he don't. Yahweh Shai don't do what he want. We gonna get into it. He even said before he got crucified, he said, "Hey, Lord, if it be your will, let this cup pass from me. But if it be your will, I take the cup."
Right.
So he was even having doubts before he got crucified, but it had to be Yahweh's will and not his. Right? So at that right hand until he made the enemies thy footstool, right? Read that again on from the top, Caleb.
Come on. This is again, that would be Apocrypha. Wisdom of Solomon 18 and 15. Thine almighty word leap down from heaven, out of thy royal throne.
Out of thy what?
Out of thy royal throne.
He said out of thy royal throne, right? Read on.
As a fierce man of war.
As a what?
As a
Fierce man of war.
As a fierce man of war, man. That's what Yahweh did. He hopped down like a fierce man of war. Come on.
Into the midst of a land of destruction.
And right now, Egypt is under destruction, man. The plagues are smacking them all up. The plagues are smacking Egypt all up, man. Right? Hitting them with the damn Roy Jones combos, man.
Come on.
Right? Hitting them with the Mayweather combos, man. Right? So he's jumped down into the land of destruction. What is he gonna do? Read on out.
Verse 16. And brought thine unfeigned commandment as a sharp sword.
Right? The commandment as a sharp sword. Read on.
And standing up, fill all things with death.
Fill all things with what?
With death.
What did he do?
Fill all things with death.
And that's the destroyer that came down to Egypt. Come. Right? By Shema Mashiach Yahushua, man. Right? And let's get that again. Let's get Exodus chapter 15 and start at verse 3. Gotcha.
The book of Exodus, chapter 15, verse 3. The Lord is a man of war.
The what?
The Lord is a man of war.
Yahweh is a man of war. Read on.
And select. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name.
Read on.
Pharaoh's chariots and his host have he cast into the sea. His chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea.
Come on.
The depths have covered them. They sank into the bottom as a stone.
Read.
Thy right hand.
Thy what?
Thy right hand.
Who's the right hand of the Most High?
Yahweh.
Sit here at my right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool. You see how everything connects. He said, thy right hand, come on.
Thy right hand, O Lord, have dashed in pieces the enemy.
Have dashed in pieces the enemy because he killed the firstborn.
Right.
You could get that in Psalms when he says, "Happy shall he be to dash thy little ones to the stone." So that's referring also to when he comes back, he's gonna do the same thing again. He's gonna bring down wrath upon them and their children.
Oh, praise God.
Y'all know what I'm talking about, the Psalms, right?
Yes.
When he says, I'm going to dash their little ones against the stone. That's the same dashing he did, right? For every firstborn in the land of Egypt. And that says it right there in Exodus 15, verse 6? That was verse 6? You know what I'm saying? Because Yahweh is the right hand. Matter of fact, give me Mark 14 and 62.
Come.
This is just to line up to show you that destroyer that Yahweh sent was Yahweh.
Come. This is St. Mark chapter 14 and verse 62. And Yahweh said, I am, and ye shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power.
On the what?
On the right hand of power.
There go that right hand again. You ever heard somebody say, that's my right hand man? Well, that's Yahweh's right hand man. Right? And you know what your right hand man do. You ever got to question it. He may even pop off before you give him the word. You know what I'm saying? But Yahweh has Yahweh in such subjugation that Yahweh is not even going to pop off without Yahweh saying. That's what he is right now. Right now, Yahweh didn't come down yet because he's in complete subjugation to Yahweh.
That's right.
Complete and utter subjugation.
Just sitting there waiting.
Just sitting there waiting until he get the word.
Right.
Until he get the commandment, he not doing a damn thing.
He doesn't do anything without his command.
He doesn't do anything without his command. And that's order. Right? Imagine if we had that order as a nation.
Yeah, it'd be beautiful.
It'd be beautiful, right?
Yes.
It'd be absolutely beautiful, man. But that's why he do need to come down and establish that order amongst us. Right? Because me as a mortal man, they get my head hurt even to get 20 brothers together. Now imagine 20 trillion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? This is what Yahweh is supplying Yahweh Shai with, the power, right? And the glory and the honor and the order to come down and establish destruction upon the heathen and a kingdom amongst us. Con? All right, let's go back to Exodus chapter 12. You read verse 23, read verse 24.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 24. And ye shall observe this thing for an ordinance to thee and to thy sons forever.
For how long?
Forever.
So 3 times in the same chapter he says forever. What else do people need?
People stiff-necked.
Stiff-necked.
Stiff-necked. Hard-headed and stiff-necked.
3 times in the same chapter?
Right.
Like, if I gotta repeat something to you 3 times in the same conversation, and then you go off and don't do it, there's something wrong with you.
3 times in the same chapter. Is
3 times in the same chapter is crazy,
Yeah.
right? 3 times forever in the same chapter. That is literally forever, forever, ever, forever, ever. You have to say it 3 times. That's
sure?
literally,
Yeah,
you should.
ever.
Yeah, ever?
Forever?
The ER, the hard ER for you this time. Ever, right? But our people be hard-headed and stiff-necked, man. Read on, King.
Verse 25. And it shall come to pass, when ye be come to the land which the Lord will give you, according as he have promised, that ye shall keep this service. And it shall come to pass.
So that shows you that, yes, we are ordered to keep it in the land, but we also keep it outside of the land. Right there in that verse, it tells you that. That when you come into the land that I promise you, you shall still keep it. But it doesn't say that when you're not in the land, you're not supposed to keep it, because he was giving you this forever order even before you was in the land. Con? Read on.
Verse 26. And it shall come to pass, when your children shall say unto you, what mean ye by this service?
Now, when your children ask you why we doing this service, right? Why we not celebrating Easter, right? Why we not hunting for eggs, why we eating a flat bread, why we going to the store and making our own bread, right? This is why you got to tell them, right? Read the reason why.
Verse 27. That ye shall say, it is the sacrifice of the Lord's Passover.
It is what?
It is the sacrifice of the Lord's Passover.
Read on.
Who passed over the houses of the children of Israel.
He passed over the houses of the children of Israel. He spared us. Read on.
In Egypt, when he smote the Egyptians.
He did what?
When he smote the Egyptians.
You gotta keep it real with your children, man. This one, Yahweh, like, yeah, he killed the Egyptians. He killed them Egyptians, man. This ain't no fairy tale, Barney, Jigglypuff, right? This ain't that type of God.
Ain't no sweet God,
Ain't no sweet, oh my sweet baby Jesus. Nah. This is the destroyer.
Right.
Right? And this way your children, right, king and conqueror.
Yeah.
This is the conqueror right here, man.
Right.
We ain't talking about Cain the conqueror from Marvel. He ain't got nothing on Yahweh Shai. Nothing. Right? So this will give your children a healthy understanding of what kind of God they serve. Right?
I was going to say a point on this too. This further proves that Yahweh Shai was that angel that was in that chariot on the mountain. Yeah, I just want to bring that out. This further proves he was that angel in that chariot, because you know he even tell them that like he destroyed the Egyptians. Remember when he talked to Moses on the mountain?
Right. Yeah. So read that again from the top. You had something to say?
Oh, I was going to say something before you went any further as far as the stiffness. You know, Yahweh had to repeat himself more than once. I was going to bring out Isaiah chapter 30, verse 9.
Right.
And it says that this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord.
Right, yeah, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord. Right? And that's what they tell you right now in the Christian church. The law is done away with.
Right.
The law is done away with. But in this law, it said forever 3 times.
Right.
And this one law of keeping the Passover, It said forever 3 times. But your lying-ass Christian pastor, only caring about a dollar bill, right? Tell you that the law is done away with.
Big payday.
Easter
and Christmas services.
Huge payday. Huge payday. Pay off their damn big mansion. Right? Off of your ignorance. Right? And that ain't right. Read on, huh? Nah, I told him read on that precept.
God. Verse 10, which say to the seers, see not.
Because when you come to your family with the truth, they don't want to hear that. They say, see not. Read on.
And to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. Speak unto us smooth things.
And that's what they want to hear. They want to hear smooth things. Lord said, you going to win. You going to get that money. All you got to do is sow a seed. You sow a seed. Sow a seed.
Well.
You know what I'm saying? Little twin. You know what I'm saying? That's all they want you to do. They want you to dance and speak smooth things. They don't want you to talk no prophecy, no judgment, no law. Right? And the book is full of prophecy, judgment, and law.
Right, this book is so big. Like, how do y'all miss this? Like, what are y'all talking about in this book? It's so big. Like, I don't understand. A lot of stuff in here. And I'm like, why are y'all just talking about the same stuff in the same sermon?
66 books without the Apocrypha, 80 books with the Apocrypha.
Right.
And you tell me ain't nothing but sunshine and rainbows in here? They gotta be kidding me, man.
Right.
This is the same God that flooded the earth.
Right.
This is the same God that sent the destroyer to kill every firstborn in Egypt. Right? This is the same God, right, that burnt up Sodom and Gomorrah, man. Right? Only thing you transitioning into is charcoal, man. Whether people want to trans this and trans that, man, the Most High God will trans you into charcoal, man. Right? With all that trans talking, man. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans got to wake up and come back to the gospel, man.
Right.
Right? Read on, Art.
Prophesy deceits.
And that's what they want us to do. They want us to prophesy deceitfully. But we're not going to do that. We're going to give you the truth, whether you like it, respect it, believe it or not. Con?
Con. That's right.
All right, so go back to that and finish that up in the verse 24, King.
27.
We on verse 27? Yeah, finish that up. Start from the beginning of verse 27. Okay, read it through.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse
Can you give me
27.
Matthew 26?
That ye shall say, it is the sacrifice of the Lord's Passover, who passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Egypt, when he smote the Egyptians and delivered our houses. And the people bowed the head and worship.
Right, and that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to bow the head and worship, man. Right? We're supposed to worship on this day. Worship the Most High God, right, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh. God? Right? You got me Matthew 26?
Con.
All right, start at verse 2.
This is St. Matthew, chapter 26, and verse 2.
Come on.
Ye know that after 2 days is the feast of the Passover.
After 2 days is what?
The Passover.
So Yahweh continually celebrated the Passover. Come on.
And the Son of Man is betrayed to be crucified.
And he's supposed to be crucified, man. Right? Because guess what? He transferred from the destroyer now to the Lamb.
Right.
Now his blood is going to be shed for us, right, as the Lamb. Con?
Con.
Right? Jump to verse 4.
Con. Verse 4. And consulted that they might take Yahushua by subtlety and kill him. But they said, not on the feast day, lest there be any uproar among the people.
So now they debate, should they even do it on the feast day? They want people to uproar. Because you know Yahushua did have followers. So anybody could go and tell you, all the Jews turned their back on Christ. That's not true. A majority of them did, but not all of them.
Right.
He had a following. He had people that believed. So you tell me he went healing everybody and nobody believed in him? That's a lie. But then again, the propaganda from the Pharisees had people believing that he was a blasphemer, right? They had people believing that he was an idolater. They had people believing that he was doing witchcraft and necromancy. They had the people turning against him, thinking that he was damn Beelzebub, right? So the tale bearing amongst them and the bearing of false witness of the Pharisees had a lot of people in ignorance come against Yahushua. So when people are like, oh, all the Jews, they crucified Christ. No, most of them did do it out of ignorance, right? Because the Pharisees were lying, right? But not even all of them was part of it. Some of them was actually winning. Right? Read on.
Verse 6. Now when Yahushua was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment.
So here came a woman that has an alabaster box, right? Know how much your alabaster box costs? Especially in those days. Right now, an alabaster box is hundreds of dollars. You can find some for thousands of dollars. Right? So here's a woman who had an alabaster box, and it was filled with precious ointment. Right? Read on.
And poured it on his head as he sat at meat.
And she poured it on his head, anointed him while he sat at meat. Right? Read on.
But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste?
She said, "They was like, yo, what purpose is this waste? Like, where you come from, woman, just anointing this this man? We know he the Christ, but you just came out of nowhere with this, right? Read on.
For this anointment might have been sold for much."
So he's saying the ointment could have been sold for much, right? Read on.
And given to the poor.
And given to the poor, right? So now they count her pockets, right? Read on.
When Yahushua understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman?
What he said?
Why trouble ye the woman?
And don't think that our Messiah don't care about the daughters of Zion, right? He rebuked his own disciples over this woman, right? So any brother out here with that doctrine thinking they could just do anything they want to the daughters of Zion, not according to Yahushua, right? Read on.
For she hath wrought a good work upon me.
She hath wrought a good work upon me. That's what he said. Read on.
For ye have the poor always with you.
He said you're going to have the poor always with you. Read on.
But me ye have not always.
Right. Read on.
For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body. She did it for my burial.
For my what?
For my burial.
So she understood prophecy. And she understood that he was going to be crucified for the Passover. So when he was with his disciples, he just came and anointed him like, yo, goodbye and thank you. That's what that was about. That's why she got the most expensive alabaster she could get, the most expensive ointment she could get. She said, hey, thank you, because you're about to be the sacrifice for the nation. So this woman had even greater understanding than his disciples at the time.
Right.
But did she boast about it and say, oh, y'all don't know nothing? No. She ain't do none of that. She ain't go, twitch her neck, She ain't do none of that.
You don't know me.
You don't know, no. Not cut you dudes, right? She ain't do none of that. She just went and did what she was supposed to do. You understand? In silence, like a real lady. Right? Read on.
Verse 13. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached.
Now he said, wherever this gospel shall be preached. And where shall the gospel be preached? All over the earth. Read on.
In the whole world, there shall also this, that this woman hath done, be told for a memorial of her.
You see that? And this should be a memorial of her. So every time we bring up the Passover and everywhere we preach the gospel, we should be mentioning this woman. So tell me that our Lord, right, don't care about the daughters of Zion, right? That's impossible, especially if you know about this story and you know about his crucifixion. Con? Right, I want to get that. And let me get verse 17.
Hey, Salaki. And it seemed like Judas, he was mad because she wasted all that money. Like, okay.
Yeah, he was mad. When you read it to it was Judas the one that was really mad. The one that betrayed him, right?
Like, you gonna do all that, then one of the 12 called Judas Issachar went into the chief priest and said unto them, what will you give me?
What will you give me, right? Yeah. Worried about that money.
Yeah, worried
about that money, man. And that's our people, boy. That's our people. Right? That's our people. They got MOB. They got MOB and MOE tattooed on their skin.
Yeah.
Right? So it's always money over something. Right? And Judas put money over his Messiah.
He sure did.
And he was next to him when he was doing all the miracles.
Yeah.
Walking on water. You know what I'm saying?
Feeding the multitude.
Healing the sick. Still put that almighty dollar over him. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's crazy.
But that's our people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's our people, right?
That's our people.
That's why you can't say we ain't the children of Israel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And nobody else got the same kind of characteristics amongst us. We can have the best of the best or the lowest of the low.
Right.
Con?
Come.
Right? Let me get that verse 17, King.
Come. It's Matthew chapter 26, verse 17.
Bring it out.
Now the first day of the feast of unleavened bread, the disciples came to Yahushua, saying unto him, Where wilt thou that be prepared for thee to eat the Passover?
So the Passover was the first day of unleavened bread. So they saying, where we're going to do this feast day, right?
Right.
Man, we lucky we got a place to do the feast day. You see, even Yahushua and his disciples, they even have a place yet.
Right. Just out in the street.
Just out in the street.
Yeah.
They even have a spot.
Right.
Right?
That's
So
right.
all these people that want to boast about their big buildings and big all that, Yahushua didn't even have a spot for the Passover.
Right.
They still looking on the day of.
Right.
On the day of, they looking for a spot.
Right.
Right? Read on.
Verse 18. And he said, Go into the city to such a man, and say unto him, The master saith, My time is at hand, and I will keep the Passover at thy house.
So Yahushua's Last Supper, Passover, was at somebody's house. Come on now.
I think it was Mary's.
You think it was Mary Magdalene?
Yeah. I think it was her house.
Yeah, but he said this man, so it could have been Mary Magdalene, or it could have been somebody related to her,
Right.
right?
Right. That's true.
I just want to, cause something really stuck out to me, cause you know they didn't have a place or nothing like that.
Right.
Yeah, I wish I really didn't have riches. Like the conversation we was going over earlier, basically, like riches, women, all that's like pretty much a distraction.
Yeah.
If Yahushua would have had that stuff, it would have been distractions. That's why the Lord know us from Yahushua. We not Yahushua. We can't walk exactly like Yahushua.
Right.
Yahushua got the patience. He got the temperance. You know what I'm saying? He got all the characteristics of a righteous man. We don't have that. Not saying we can't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Do things right. But I'm saying we don't have that. That's why the Lord tell us we need a wife. Yahushua wasn't burning or lusting. Like he didn't have to deal with that.
Right.
And I just wanted to touch on that.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You know, distraction.
Yeah, it's a distraction.
You know, because his message was more important than any distraction, and he needed everybody to focus because people was hard to learn.
I mean, when you look at all the great men, you know, Samson,
Then he had his enemies going against him, you know, the Pharisees. And,
you know what I'm saying? Samson, women.
Solomon.
Women. David,
Yeah.
women.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so you look at the greatest men in the scriptures, it's always something to do with Eve or women in general, right? That was like, I ultimately bring them down, right? So Yahushua, I suggest that people just look at Yahushua, he knew his assignment.
Kind
You know
of.
what I'm
It's
saying?
on a mission.
He focused on it.
Yeah, he just understood his assignment, that he was supposed to be the sacrificial lamb, so he didn't have time for that. And why would you want to put a wife through that anyway?
A burden on them.
A burden on her, knowing that she got to see you be crucified anyway.
Kind of. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know that was terrible for his mother to watch that.
Kind of.
Because his mother watched him get crucified.
Yes.
And that's why he had to tell his disciple, when you see my mother, that's your mother now. You know what I'm saying?
Christ was different.
Yeah.
Very.
Oh, I tell you.
But Salaki, you know, not that Paul walked in the exact same spirit, but he walked like that too, because he was on a mission. His fool was, hey, I'm out here to do this right now.
But also Paul had a problem with lust. He said that he had a thorn when it came to
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So he had a problem with lust too.
He struggled with it.
So he was on some, you know what I'm saying? I'm just rather stay focused
Kind,
and not even
kind,
deal
yeah.
with it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
And to touch on one more point, that's why I was talking to brothers early. Like our main mission here right now, once we understand who we are and what we're doing, our main mission is to focus on the work.
Right.
And whatever the Most High bless us
In between
that and Most High willing the kingdom, that's what we get. But we don't go out and search for it. You know, we know He'll send it to us if He want us to have it.
Kind of. Right. Yeah. You be obedient, and He will reward you.
Right. But let's get back to this right quick.
Okay.
Give me verse 24, King.
Okay. Verse 24. This is St. Matthew chapter 26 and verse 24. The Son of Man goeth as as it is written of him. But woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed.
So he's saying, woe to the man that betrayed me, right? Read on.
It had been good for that man if he had not been born.
It'd be good for that man if he not been born. Right? Read on.
Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered.
And Judas, which betrayed him, listen.
Which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it I? He said unto him, Thou hast said.
You see
Say
that?
thou sayest.
Thou sayest.
It is I.
he said, Master, is it I? And Yahushua said,
Thou said.
Thou said. Like, nigga, you know it's you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But and look, that's how cool and collective he was too.
Yahushua was cold.
Yeah, he was cold. He's like, yes, you nigga. Like, I would kill you right now, matter of fact. He ain't do none of that. He said, Thou sayest, nigga, you know what part you playing.
And
Right.
you know, it was said then the verse, so he knew, the Christ knew. That's why he asked that question, because you know he asked earlier, which y'all will give me to betray him.
Right.
So he knew he asked that. So he like, hey, do you know that I'm gonna do it? Basically, it's asking like do you already know I'm gonna be doing this to you?
Yeah.
Like that's how the question sound he asked.
Because he mentioned, hey, woe to the person that betrayed the Son of Man. You know, earlier in the chapter, he said, what y'all gonna give me, right? He said, no, wait, hold on. Oh, you know it's me?
Yeah,
Like,
Christ
I know
slick
it's you.
with it, man. You raw dog with it, for real, man. Like, you know it's you. What you playing that for? That's crazy.
All right, read verse 26, okay?
Gone. Verse 26. And as they were eating, Yahushua took bread and blessed it and brake it and gave it to the disciples and said, Take, eat, this is my body. And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, Drink ye all of it. For this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins.
Was shed for many for the remission of sins, right? So his blood was going to be shed, right? That very day. Read on.
But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom.
Right? So he's saying that he's basically saying to them, like, this is the last time we eat and drink with y'all until I bring the kingdom, right? Right? Let me get verse 33. Let me get verse 33.
Come. Verse 33. Peter answered and said unto him, Though all men shall be offended because of thee, yet will I never be offended. Yahushua said unto him, Verily I say unto you, that this night before the cock crow.
He said this night before the cock crow. So this is the same Passover night. He said before the cock crow. You know, the cock crow right before the sunrise. So remember, this very night, he said before the cock crow, before sunrise, right? Read on.
Thou shalt deny me thrice.
Thou shalt deny me 3 times. So this is all happening during the Passover. This is a crazy Passover.
Yeah.
Judas said, am I going to betray you? Yeah, thou sayest. Peter said, I'll never betray you. You're going to deny me 3 times.
Right.
So this is a hell of a Passover right now.
Yeah, God, it's amazing that the two that's going to actually do these things spoke up. They the main ones spoke up about it.
Yeah, they told them they said.
Yeah, it's like they told on themselves. They knew they was going to do it.
Guilt.
Right? Read on, King.
Verse 35. Peter said unto him, Though I should die with thee, yet will I not deny thee.
You see that? You see
I'll
that?
die with you, but I ain't gonna deny you.
Right, I ain't going to deny you. That's what he's saying. I ain't going to deny you, right?
That is crazy, man.
Likewise also said all the disciples.
Likewise said all the disciples.
You
Right?
know everybody lying.
Right, everybody lying on that, right?
Then cometh Yahushua with them unto a place called Gethsemane, and said unto the disciples, Sit ye here, while I go and pray yonder. And he took with him Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy.
Because he knew that the crucifixion of him was coming. So now he became to be sorrowful and very heavy. He's like, damn, I'm about to go through it. Right, read on.
Then said he unto them, My soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here, and watch with me. And he went a little further and fell on his face and prayed, saying, Oh my Father.
He said, who?
Oh my Father.
Right? So that cuts the Trinity.
Kind.
Right now he's praying to his Father. Who he praying to, himself?
No.
No, he's praying, he said, oh my Father. Read on.
If it be possible,
Now he's saying, if it be possible. Right? Read on.
let this cup pass from
He
me.
said, man, do I gotta go through this?
Right.
For these
For these
niggas?
niggas.
With Judas over here smiling in my face?
This nigga been
No,
tell on me.
tell on me.
Use him as a sacrifice.
Right? You know what
Nigga
I'm saying?
snitching there.
So are they really on equal terms if he begging his Father right now, saying, hey, if it be possible, man, I don't really want to go through this right now.
That's the real cut down.
That's the real cut. Right? Read on.
Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thou wilt.
He said, not as I will, but as
I
I
won't do
will.
it. I won't die for you.
Right, it would be
My
my choice. But like I said, he's under complete subjugation to Yahweh. Complete. Right? This is not like your father telling you to take out the trash.
No.
It's not like your father telling you to mop the floor. It's not like your father telling you to go to the store early in the morning.
Right.
It's your father telling you you gotta die for these people. And not only die, be tortured, they die.
And to know some of them ain't even worth it.
They know some of them are not even worth it.
Yeah.
That's why they say obedience is better than sacrifice. Because you sacrificing a lot.
Gone. Right? We don't know.
Verse 40. And he cometh unto the disciples and findeth them asleep.
You find what?
And findeth them asleep.
Because it's nighttime, they done fell asleep, right?
And saith unto Peter, What could ye not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray that ye enter into temptation. Not into temptation, Salakia. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak.
The what?
But the flesh is weak.
And we all battle our flesh all the time. If you lie and tell me you ain't battling your flesh, I know you full of it. I know you probably got more spirits than anybody else if you tell me you're not battling your flesh. If you tell me you're not battling your flesh, that you ain't tempted to do something you know is off, right? Then I know that you are a liar and you got more spirits on you than anybody else. Because even Yahweh just let them know the flesh is weak. Right? That's why me and Brother Malak was saying we don't put ourselves in certain predicaments that your flesh will give in on you. Give in like a bad knee. You know what I'm saying?
Charlie horse.
Like I said, Charlie horse on you real quick. Right? Because the flesh is weak. Go to verse 46, King.
Come on. Verse 46. Rise, let us be going. Behold, he is at hand that doeth betray me.
What he said?
He is at hand that doeth betray me.
Right? He said he's at hand that doeth betray me. Now he waking them up again and saying, look, here goes the person that's going to betray me. Read on.
And while he yet spake, lo, Judas.
Know who?
Judas.
Right? Thou sayest, right? Read on.
One of the 12 came, and with him a great multitude with swords.
With what?
With swords.
He done got the gang on him. Right? Got the whole task force on him. You know how the task force kick your door early in the morning? That's the same thing they did to Yahweh because it wasn't even light yet. You know what I'm saying? You know how the task force do Negroes in the hood?
Yeah.
Right? They go kick your door in them like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Right.
That's SWAT kicking your door. That's how they still do you. What?
They painted the picture in that Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yeah, that's how they killed.
That's
What was his name again?
Fred Hampton.
Fred Hampton, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how they did him in the Judas and the Black Messiah.
While he was sleeping.
While he was asleep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing. And that's how they still do it to this very day. That's how you know we still dealing with the same Romans persecuting the same Israelites. Because they're doing the same thing. Number of times I woke up in the morning, some dude in the hood, I knew he had a little weed selling. They kicked his door in 5 in the morning. Even kicked my door in 5 in the morning a few times. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. They come early in the morning for you. And that's what they just did. Read on.
Verse 47. And while he yet spake, lo, Judas, one of the 12 came, and with him a great multitude with swords and staves, from the chief priests and elders of the people. Now he that betrayed him gave them a sign, saying, Whomsoever I shall kiss, that same is he, hold him fast. And forthwith he came to Yahweh and said, Hail, Master, and kissed him. And Yahushua said unto him, Friend, wherefore art thou come? Then came they and laid hands on Yahushua and took him. And behold, one of them which were with Yahushua stretched out his hand and drew his sword and struck a servant of the high priest and smote off his ear.
And then what?
And smote off his ear.
Right, one of the people with Yahushua cut off one of the soldiers' ear. Read on.
Then said Yahushua unto him, Put up again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword.
And that was a cut to Esau, because if you go to Revelations 13 and 10, it says, "If who killeth with the sword shall die by the sword." Right, and that's Esau, because he was blessed with the sword. Right, that's in Genesis 20. I think that's 27 and 40. Esau's blessing is the sword. So whoever live by the sword shall die by the sword. So that's a cut to Esau right there. He said, hey, don't get too carnal with this guy, because that's going to be his downfall, not ours. God? All right, so let me get, now I'm just running through this so it can be timely. Let me get verse 69.
St. Matthew chapter 26 and verse 69.
Bring it out.
Now Peter sat without in the palace, and a damsel came unto him, saying, Thou also wast with Yahushua of Galilee. But he denied before them all, saying, I know not what thou sayest.
You see that? Denying it, you know? Right? This is the same night, though. This is the same night. Right? The Passover came sundown. They ate, they drank. I say like around probably like 3 in the morning they came to arrest him. And now this is probably like 4 or 5 in the morning before the sun come up. Read on.
And when he was gone out into the porch, another maid saw him and said unto them that were there, This fellow was also with Yahushua of Nazareth. And again he denied with an oath, I do not know the man.
This is the same night. This is the same night, yo. Read on.
And after a while came unto him they that stood by and said to Peter, Surely thou also art one of them, for thy speech betrayeth thee. Then began he to curse and to swear, saying,
what?
And to curse and to swear.
He's going on now.
Going
I wonder what they got him.
I don't know his mother.
Read on.
You a goddamn lie.
Is that what he said, Malak?
Hold on, we're going off. Okay, so look, verse 74. Then began he to curse and to swear, saying, I know not the man. And immediately the cock crew.
Right. After that third time, immediately.
Said the rooster told on.
Yeah, Rooster told on. Rooster told on. Right?
Good.
Now read the next verse, because this is the cut. This is the cut right here.
God, verse 75. And Peter remembered the word of Yahushua.
Now he remembered what Yahushua said, you're going to deny me 3 times before the cock crow. And then on the 3rd time the cock crow, and he like, hey, he told me that was going to happen. Right?
He did.
Thou sayest.
Verse 5 like, woohoo, yeah.
And Peter over there like, shh.
Alright, read on.
And Peter remembered the word of Yahushua, which said unto him before the cock crowed, Thou shalt deny me thrice. And he went out and wept bitterly.
He wept bitterly, man. He got cut to the heart. He wept bitterly. That's the snot nose.
You might as well give up the ghost at that point.
You know, but read the book of Acts, he make up for it, you know what I'm saying? Because he lead the charge. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He lead the charge, but then that's a heavy L right there. Boy. That's a heavy L.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A very heavy L. Let me get chapter 27.
Verse 1.
Yeah, read verse 1.
Come on, it's Matthew chapter 27 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
When the morning was come.
When the what?
When the morning was come.
So the whole night, that what we just read happened that whole night, and that was the morning. From the sunset where the Passover started, now this is the morning. Right? Read on.
All the chief priests and elders of the people took counsel against Yahushua to put him to death.
To do what?
To put him to death.
So this is still the Passover. Because remember, we go from sunset to sunset.
Right.
So this is still the Passover. The very same day all this happened. Judas betrayed him. Peter denied him. They done arrested him. And now they want to crucify him. Right? Read on.
And when they had bound him, they led him away and delivered him to Pontius Pilate.
And they delivered it to who?
Pontius Pilate.
And this is a real person in history. You can look him up. You can actually look him up.
It's like you can find. I don't know if y'all ever watched that show Spartacus.
Spartacus.
Yeah, it's a series, but he a Roman. You'll find him in that series Spartacus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an actual person. Right? Read on.
Verse 3. Then Judas, which had betrayed him.
Which had what?
Betrayed him.
Just had betrayed him. Read on.
When he saw that he was condemned, repented himself, and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders, saying, I have sinned in that I have betrayed the innocent blood. And they said, what is that to us?
They said what?
What is that to
Because
us?
now they don't even need him no more.
Huh.
He said, what is that to us? So they used him to betray Yahushua, and now they said, get out of here, Judas. Right? Read on.
See thou to that. And he cast down the pieces of silver in the temple and departed and went and hanged himself.
Right? Might as well. Right? Give me verse 19, King.
Come on, verse 19. When he was set down on the judgment seat, his wife sent unto him, saying, have thou nothing to do with that just man? For I have suffered many things this day in a dream because of him.
So this is the heathen getting tortured because they're about to crucify Yahushua. Him and his wife, especially his wife, is having terrible dreams. Terrible dreams. Right? Yahweh's plaguing them with nightmares because they're about to crucify Yahushua. Right? Read on.
Verse 20. But the chief priests and elders persuaded the multitude.
With the chief priests, what?
Persuaded the
You
multitude.
see that? They persuaded the multitude. So a lot of our people were tricked into crucifying Yahushua. So let nobody be like, oh, the Jews were wicked. Yeah, some of them were wicked. Those are the ones that persuaded the multitude. Just like a lot of our people were persuaded into taking the jab.
Oh, man.
You understand? It's the same thing. Con? Right, read on.
That they should ask Barabbas and destroy Yahushua.
And do what?
Ask Barabbas and destroy
So
Yahushua.
that was the multitude of our people that went to betray him, right? Right. Give me verse 28. I'm trying to skim through this so we can be finished before 10:45. Come on.
Which 25?
Yeah, verse. Give me verse 27.
27. Come on. Verse 27. Then the soldiers of the governor took Yahushua into the common hall and gathered unto him the whole band of soldiers. And they stripped him and put him a scarlet robe. And when they had planted a crown of thorns, they put it upon his head, and he reed in his right hand. And they bowed the knee before him and mocked him, saying, Hail, King of the Jews.
Say what?
Hail, King of the Jews.
Mocked him, man. Right? Put a crown of thorns on his head and then mocked him. If you ever touched a thorn while picking a rose, you know how much that hurt. They gave him a crown of thorns right over his head. Read on.
Verse 30. And they spit upon him.
And they what?
They spit upon him.
Listen, anybody spit on me, bro.
He's on and popping.
It's on and popping. So this is what Yahushua had to take for us. They spit on him.
And Salaki, this shows how much hatred they had for him and how much power they believe he had. Could say the whole band of soldiers,
Right.
like all of them gathered, joined in together to be a part of what they were finna do.
Right. Go to verse 35.
Verse 30.
I was about to say that shows his temperance too. Like he just temperate. He not acting a fool. They out there spitting on him. He ain't getting up Like, man, spit on me again, I'll knock it. You know what I'm saying? One of us do that, you know. We ain't gonna take that.
Actually, Yahushua could have looked at one of the niggas and stopped their heart.
That's what I'm
Because
saying.
what? Right. they could just die. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He had that power.
But he understood his assignment. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we do give him reverence all the time, man. By Shema Mashiach Yahushua. All right, read on. Remember, this is all on the Passover. So if you think we was dealing with spirits this Passover, we wasn't dealing with spirits like Yahushua.
It's like a long day.
Nah, it was a long day, man. Right? Read on.
Verse 35. And they crucified him and parted his garments.
And did what?
And parted his garments.
And part of his garments. Read on.
Casting lots, that it might be fulfilled.
So they took off his garments and they sold it. Like, hey, I got your Houseide jersey. Who won the money? You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Come on now, man. Read on.
Which was spoken by the prophet. They parted my garments among them, and upon my vesture did they cast lots.
Right, read on.
And sitting down, they watched him there, and set up over his head his accusation written, "This is Yahushua, the King of the Jews."
There you go, they mocking him again, man. Right, read on.
Then were there two thieves crucified with him, one on the right hand and another on the left.
Come on.
And they that passed by reviled him, wagging their heads.
So the crucifixion wasn't nothing uncommon. Because remember, two thieves were being crucified right next to him. So a lot of our people, just like this criminal justice system, a lot of our people get caught up in it. So the two thieves next to him was being crucified too. Right? But he was innocent. You know what I'm saying? These guys were thieves.
Yeah.
Read on.
And saying, "Thou that destroyest the temple and buildest it in 3 days, save thyself, if thou be the Son of God.
Right? They mock him again. Read on.
Come down from the cross."
You heard they told him?
Come down from the
Come down from the cross. Read on.
Likewise, also the chief priests mocking him with the scribes and elders said, "He saved others, himself he cannot save."
They say, you done saved others, but yourself you can't save? Ain't that Jake?
Yeah.
That sound like Jake. This man done saved everybody but himself. You know what I'm saying? That's Jake.
I had a precept to go with that.
But hold on one second. I wanna read down to verse 46.
If he be the King of Israel, let him now come down from the cross, and we will believe him.
Read on out.
He trusted in God, Yahweh. Let him deliver him now, if he will have him, for he said, "I am the Son of God, Yahweh."
Read on.
The thieves also which were crucified with him cast the same in his teeth. Now from the 6th hour there was a darkness over all the land unto the 9th hour.
Until the 9th hour. Remember this the same day, right? Read on.
And about the 9th hour, Yahushua cried with a loud voice, saying, "Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani." That is to say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?"
Where's that from? Where's that from? My God, why hast thou forsaken me? Psalms 22, verse 1.
Yeah, I want to start Psalms 22, verse 16.
Right here.
But verse 1 is where he said that. He said, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, right? But in the Paleo Hebrew, it would be Allah, Allah, lama sabachthani, right? Because he's saying, my God, right? Read that.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 22, verse 1. My God, why hast thou forsaken me?
So this is David in the spirit prophesying about Christ. Because when you read what he's talking about, that never happened to David. Yahweh never forsaken David, even when David was off. Yahweh didn't forsake him. David died an old man, never captured, never tortured, never defeated. Nobody defeated David ever. Ever. You couldn't defeat David. You understand? Right? Read on up.
Come. Why art thou so far from helping me?
Right? They were saying, hey, if this be the Son of God, tell God to deliver you. Come up off that cross. So this is David through the Spirit prophesying about Yahushua. Read on.
And from the words of my ruin, oh my God, I cry in the daytime, but thou hearest not.
He said in the daytime. So when was Christ crucified? That day, right? Into the night, right? Hey, go to verse 16 because Malak was on point.
Yeah, you need to.
Verse 16. For dogs have compassed me.
For what?
For dogs have compassed me.
Goddamn white man, a damn dog, man. Dogs have compassed me. When did David, y'all got to show me in the history of David, when did the heathen ever compass David? Where in the Chronicles? Where in the book of Samuels? Where in Kings? The heathen ever compass David? They couldn't touch David. David died from old age as an old man. They could never see David. Right? So, but now what is he talking about? He's talking about when the dogs come past Yahushua.
Right.
Right, read on.
For dogs have compassed me, the assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and my feet.
They pierced my hands and my feet. That's that crucifixion. That never happened to David. Show me where that happened to David. Show me where that happened to David.
No, I say that's cut from the Old Testament. Right
Yeah, that's a super cut.
Yeah, you can't get
David
that.
never went through that, man. Read on.
Verse 17. I may tell my bones, all my bones, they look and stare upon me.
Right, read on.
They part my garments.
They did what?
They part my
They
garments.
took his garments and solo.
Same thing.
Same thing. When did they do this to David?
Yeah, they got an answer for this.
When did they do that to David? Read on.
That's tough. They part my garments among them
Among them, come on.
and cast lots upon my
And
vesture.
did what?
And cast lots upon my vesture.
That's what they did to Yahushua. What we reading right now. But when did they ever do that to David?
I can't find out.
Man, they touch David, they dead. They dead. David ain't played none of that.
Hey, yo, wasn't it a person, right? That was like, let me take his head off.
Nabal.
Nabal.
Nabal was rude to David and his men, and they was about to go kill his ass.
Okay.
David said, every man that pissed up upon the wall must die. David ain't played none of that nonsense. He showed mercy to Saul, because Saul was God's anointed. But other than that, David ain't played nothing. He used to kill the heathen by 10,000s, man. So when did the heathen ever come past David, pierce his hands and feet, tore off his garments and sold them? That never happened to David. That's why Christ quoted that in his dying words, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? So read that verse 1 again, and then we're going to get back to what Christ said.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 22, verse 1. My God, why hast thou forsaken me?
So let me get that again in verse 46, over there in chapter 27.
Verse 46.
Yeah.
Come. And about the ninth hour, Yahushua cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. That is to say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?
Because he fulfilled the prophecy that David prophesied about. God? Right, read on.
For some of them that stood there, when they heard that, said, this man calleth for Elias.
So they thought he was talking about Elijah. Right? Right? So they mocking him some more. This man calling for Elijah. Right? Read on.
And straightway one of them ran and took a sponge and filled it with vinegar.
And filled it with what?
With vinegar.
Right? Well, it was bad enough they tortured this man and killing him, right? But now they fill a sponge with vinegar. Read on.
And put it on a reed and gave him to drink.
They gave him what?
And gave him to drink.
Read on.
The rest said, let us see whether Elias will come to save him.
Read.
Yahushua went and had cried against with a loud voice, yield up the ghost.
And then what?
Yield up the ghost.
And he died, man. That's how he died. So a horrible way to die, man.
I got a question. Did he really drink the vinegar though?
Yeah.
They put it, you know how
Put it in
Okay,
they
that's
got somebody else, just put it in your mouth and
With sponge.
yeah.
So they broke his mouth.
That's why he died right there. Right,
That's
so
wicked.
Shemai. Alright, so jump to verse 60.
Verse 60. And laid it in his own new tomb, which he had hewn out in the rock. And
So they laying Yahweh in the tomb, right? Read on.
And hewn out in the rock, and he rolled a great stone to the door of the sepulchre, and departed. And there was Mary Magdalene, and the other Mary sitting over against the sepulchre. And now the next day that followed the day of the preparation, the
She
chief
said the next day that followed the day of the preparation. What's the day of the preparation?
What's that?
That'd be the day after the Passover, right?
Yeah, but what's the day of the preparation? What do we prep for?
Sabbath.
Sabbath.
So 6 days is supposed to be prep day.
Yeah, 6 days. So this cuts that lunar doctrine, because under the lunar doctrine, Passover is on every Sabbath. It has to be on the Sabbath.
Yeah.
Because if you count the new moon as your first day, your 14th day would have to be the Passover, and then your 14th day would have to be the Sabbath.
Okay.
But the Passover just happened, and the whole day passed, and they said the next day is the preparation. Right? Because according, I'm not sure if y'all seen the chart that Ephraim put up, but Christ actually rose on the Sabbath, and the day after the Sabbath, that's when they figured out he was gone.
Oh, okay.
Right? So that cuts that lunar
They actually
doctrine.
have a calendar that shows that. We try to show it to Christians, but you know they can't.
Yeah, and Christians with the Easter, they don't get that neither. Right? But read on.
No. Verse 62.
Verse 62.
Just two.
Gone. Now the next day that followed the day of the
The
preparation,
day of the preparation, because they're prepping for the Sabbath. Read on.
the chief priests and Pharisees came together unto Pilate, saying, Sir, we remember that deceiver said, while he was yet alive, after 3 days I will rise again.
So they knew that he was going to rise in 3 days because he prophesied that. Right? He said, as Jonah was in the well, so was the Son of Man rise up again. Let me get that right.
Jonah 2 and 2. Jonah 2 and 2.
But Christ actually said, like the Son of Man, as Jonah stayed in the.
You saying this? Oh, yeah. I'm gonna go. Let me go to Jonah, and then I can go to it.
Yeah, go to Jonah first.
Okay.
Now, and I'm gonna get what Yahweh said it.
Okay. There's Jonah 2 and 2. Then I get what Yahweh said also. Yahweh says it in 11. No, that ain't right. Revelation 2 and 14. No, it might be Matthew's 11 and 23. But Jonah, you want to bring it up?
We got Matthew 12 and 40, but give me the one of Jonah first.
You want to bring it up?
Jonah 2 and 2.
Come on, this is Jonah chapter 2 and verse 2. And said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto the Lord, and he heard me. Out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou heardest my voice.
Right? So Jonah was out of the belly of the well, and he compared it to hell, right? So let's get Matthew 12 and 40.
The book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 40, says, For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth.
So that was the prophecy he made. That's why the Pharisees was like, well, this deceiver said he was going to spend 3 days on the earth and then rise again. Right? That's why he got crucified a day before the preparation. Right? They put him in the grave. In the day of preparation, he was in the grave. In the Sabbath, he was in the grave. He's supposed to raise up right after the Sabbath. Right? That's how it goes. Right? So they knew that. So they tried to stop it. Go back to Matthew 27 and read that verse again.
Come on. Verse 63, the same of Matthew chapter 27. Saying, Sir, we remember that deceiver said.
When he said that in Matthew 12 and 40. Come on.
While he was yet alive, after 3 days, I will rise again.
Right, read.
Command therefore that the sepulchre be made sure unto the 3rd day, lest the disciples come by night and steal him away.
So then the disciples going to come and steal his body, right? Read on.
And say unto the people, he is risen from the dead, so the last era shall be worse than the first.
So he said it'll be worse than the first following he had, right? If this prophecy comes to true that he prophesied was going to happen. You know?
Pilate said unto them, Ye have a watch, go your way, make it as sure as ye can. So they went and made the sepulchre sure, sealing the stone and setting a watch.
So they went and they tried to barricade the sepulchre, and they had guards watching. Well, y'all know what happened anyway, right? He rose again. Right? Let's get that in Mark chapter 26, verse 1. You give me Mark 26 and 1. You give me Matthew 28 and 1. Okay. We get the Matthew 1 first.
26 and 1?
Yeah. Mark 26 and 1.
We only have 16 books.
Let me see 16 and 1.
Chapters.
Yeah. Hold that. 16. Salaki. I said 26. I meant 16.
Come. This is Matthew chapter 28 and verse 1. In the end of the Sabbath.
In the what?
In the end of the Sabbath.
Remember, before the Sabbath began, they said, "Hey, we got to make sure we get this thing sealed because he's supposed to rise in 3 days." Right? Read on.
As it began to dawn toward the first day of the week.
The what?
It began to dawn toward the first day of the week.
Because after the Sabbath is the first day, right? Read on.
Came Mary.
Yeah.
That's super cut, right? Read on.
It became to dawn toward the first day of the week. Came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre. And behold, there was a great earthquake, for the angel of the Lord descended from heaven and came and rolled back the stone from the door and sat upon it.
And did what?
And sat upon it.
Nah, this the angel of the Lord is so gangster. He not even rolled back the stone. He done sat upon it, right?
Sit down, stone like
He
this.
sat upon it like, yeah, you know.
Black man sat up.
Right?
That's Jake for real.
Jake for real, like, yeah. Well, they was trying to keep this closed or something? Nah, we in here. Right, read on.
His countenance was like lightning.
His countenance was like what?
Like lightning.
Come on.
And his raiment white as snow.
Come on.
And for fear of him, the keepers did shake and became as dead men. They were scared. Oh, they were scared.
Shaking
They
doing a Harlem shake.
They had them guards there for what? They ain't what? No smoke at all. None at all, right? Con? Right, read on.
And they people train these angels white angels. They're sweet little angels with harps. Like, I don't understand.
They're sweet little baby angels with hearts and they half
Say
naked.
somebody's scared of that.
I think somebody's scared of that. Right, read that. Read on, King. You gonna get it in that.
And the angel answered and said unto the woman, to the women, Fear not ye, for I know that ye seek Yahweh, which was crucified. He is not here, for he is risen, as he said. Come see the place where the Lord lay. And go quickly and tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead. And behold, he goeth before you into Galilee. There shall ye see him. Lo, I have told you.
Right, so that's what happened, man. We get Mark 16:1.
This is the book of Mark, chapter 16, verse 1. And when the Sabbath was past, Mary Magdalene and Mary the mother of James and Salome had brought sweet spices that they might come and anoint him. And very early in the morning, the first day of the week, they came unto the sepulchre at the rising of the sun. And they said among themselves, Who shall roll us away the stone from the door of the sepulchre? And when they looked, they saw that the stone was rolled away, for it was very great. And entered into the sepulchre, they saw a young man sitting on the right side, clothed in a long white garment, and they were affrighted. And he said unto them, Be not affrighted. Ye seek Yahweh of Nazareth, which was crucified. He is risen. He is not here. Behold the place where they laid him. But go your way, tell his disciples and Peter that he goeth before you into the Galilee.
Yes.
Into Galilee. There shall ye see him, as he said unto you. And they went out quickly and fled from the sepulchre, for they trembled and were amazed. Neither said they any the thing to any man, for they were afraid. Verse 9. Now, when Yahweh was risen, early the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene, out of whom he had cast 7 devils.
Right, so this is Yahweh coming up, right, after he's crucified, and this is still all during the week of unleavened bread. Right, because he was crucified on the first day, right, buried on the second day, right, stayed there for 3 days,
3, 4, 5.
3, 4, 5, and on that Sunday, right, he arose, right, so it's still the week of unleavened bread. So this how spiritual this gathering is, because between the first day, Holy Convocation, and the last day, right, Yahweh was crucified, tortured, died, and was resurrected unto the glory of Yahweh. Khan? Khan? All right, so let's give it up, man. That's the lesson. All right, so we're going to anoint the people. We're going to go around, give the sprays. You're going to go around and give everybody a spray can? Yeah, I'm going to take time to do a more in-depth lesson on that. How the crucifixion happened, the time it happened, the time period in between the Feast of Unleavened Bread. I just know that, it's still a weekday, so I don't want to keep us too late. We still want to gather and have a holy convocation. You know what I'm saying?
Those were good cuts, especially in that Old Testament, definitely gotta go back into this lesson.
Pull it to my. Let's go. Pull it together. Pull it together.
Good scriptures put together right now.
Yeah, some precepts.
Yeah, I got some good put together. Just linking stuff together.
No praises.
There's some good linking now, man. Got some cuts out of it too. Gonna do some cuts. Yeah. Like that Solomon scripture, that Psalm scripture, that 22, 16.
Some of them scriptures I didn't even think that was there.
That's on the line for us.
Yeah, that's not the Bible.
Yeah, we start fighting.
All right. All right.
We doing more scripture.
Hallelujah.
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 Oh, Yahweh, now please guide and protect us, right, through these treacherous times and these times of Babylon falling. Let the destroyer send the death angels out, oh Yahweh, and continue to conquer and plague and destroy the heathen. Ba'Shem HaMashiach Yahushai.
Ba'Shem HaMashiach Yahushai.
Oh Yahweh, Thawadah for covering us with the lamb, the blood of the lamb, and the sacrifice of Yahushai. Thawadah Yahweh for the sacrifice of Yahushai. Thawadah Yahweh for the sacrifice of our forefathers. Thawadah Yahweh for the mercies that endures forever. Oh Yahweh, please continue to fill us with your mercies, because the spirit is willing but the flesh is weak. Oh Yahweh, please, oh Yahweh, let us digest the unleavened bread, right? Let us take in the lamb and the blood of the lamb. Oh Yahweh, let the blood of the lamb cover us all. Oh Yahweh, right? Throughout your Passover, Yahweh, continue to destroy and plague Egypt, oh Yahweh, for our deliverance. As long as they fall, we rise, oh Yahweh. I say, Kwam Yasha'Allah.
Kwam Yasha'Allah.
Kwam Yasha'Allah.
Kwam Yasha'Allah.
Kwam Yasha'Allah.
Kwam Yasha'Allah.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahushai.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Ba'Shem Yahushai.
Ba'Shem Yahushai.
Hallelujah.
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 Amen.
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 God.
Alright. Blow the trumpet. Eat, drink, and be merry, y'all. If anybody got any donations for the house, right, be more than generous right now, because like I put out, right, even Yahushua ain't have a place to hold the Passover. We do, right? So the water to the keep us in the house, and let's always try to donate as much as we can. Kwam Yasha'Allah.
Kwam Yasha'Allah. Got the okay, that's right. You're right. Some of our forefathers. I always